Hello friends, and welcome to another chair yoga video. I'm Nina and I'm so glad you're here. In today's practice, we focus on our feet. We have more proprioceptors in the soles of our feet than we do in our hands. And that means more ability to sense and feel. The information that's coming to our brains from our feet is very important as we balance and move throughout the day. Today's practice, we focus on strengthening the arches and the ankles, working with balance. Let's get ready to jump in with both feet. You're going to need a tennis ball and a folded up beach towel or blanket. Those two, plus your chair, and we're ready for a short and sweet for your feet practice. We'll get started on our chair. And today, when we make that connection with our feet to the earth or our feet to the prop, really important that we tune into that. So let's slide our bodies back to the back of the chair. Let's connect our feet to the floor, whether it's directly to the floor or through some form of prop. Even that rolled up blanket might be a good way to connect if your legs are long enough. Once we've made that connection, push down into the feet to sit up a little bit taller. And then turn your attention to the breath. Begin to slow down the breath and even it out. And take a moment to notice how the body feels today. Even though our focus today is on the feet and strengthening feet and ankles, the whole body's connected. It's all working together. Then we'll bring those palms to heart center, just placing one on top of the other, and we'll take a moment to set an intention for today's practice, whatever's important to you. Bring it to the front of your mind, the front of your heart. And then release those hands back down into the lap. Before we move forward, let's pay attention to the toes. Let's pick them up, spread them wide, put them back down, and just notice what it feels like to be able to wiggle those toes, to have some space, some room for the feet to move around. Maybe pick up the heels. And then we're going to move the entire body forward to the edge of the chair. We'll put that block safely off to the side and bring our feet to the earth. Now, what does this feel like to connect with the earth? Push into the feet, sit up a little taller, and feel the sensation on the soles of the feet. Where do you feel sensation? Where do you feel the weight of your foot? Is it all in one side, like towards the big toe side? Is it towards the front, the back? Everybody's going to have a different answer. But just bring your awareness to the soles of the feet, where you are feeling sensation. Sit up a little bit taller. And then let's make a few circles with those shoulders, just to bring some movement into the upper back. And then we'll put those hands back on the lap. We'll inhale, fill up, come into our little cow pose. And as we exhale, we'll tuck the tail around the spine, take it to cat. Let's start this movement with the feet though. So push into the feet, inhale, fill up. As we exhale, push into the feet again. Start to round the spine, bring that belly button back. Separate the shoulder blades, drop the chin. So thinking about this cat and cow movement as starting from the feet. And after your next exhale into cat, we'll pause and come back to that nice tall spine. Let's take our hands to a cactus, arms to a cactus. Sit up tall here. Once again, pushing into the feet. We'll inhale here, and as we exhale, very slowly start to turn to your right. Just a gentle movement, just going as far as is comfortable. Inhale, come back to center. And as we exhale, take it in the other direction. A gentle twist, not forcing, not prying. You can let the head go with the shoulder blades or the collarbones. And then return to center. Release those hands back down into the lap. Take another circle or two with those shoulders. And then pause in stillness. Notice how things feel. Now we're going to jump right in. Like I said, jump in with both feet. Let's start with the feet now. We'll pick up the front of the foot, keeping the heel on the ground, and we're just going to tap, tap, tap with the feet. Just bringing a little bit of energy, a little bit of movement into the feet and ankles. You notice that this really keeps those ankles working, right? So some tapping, as fast or as slow as you like. Keep breathing, although we don't have a patterned breath we're following here. You're breathing, you're tapping your feet as fast or as slow as you would like. And this becomes a little bit of work, doesn't it? Notice how that feels. Maybe try a little faster. Still sit up tall. You see how easy it was for me to slump back? Still sit up tall. And let's go for about another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, pause. Notice sensations in the feet and the ankles. Now let's bring our feet close together now. Feet are straight ahead, parallel. We will lift up both feet, keeping the heels on the ground. So lift up the front of the foot, and then we're going to open them into a V. So we open those toes out to the side, and then we're going to place the feet back down on the floor, landing in this little V shape. Then pick up both the fronts of both feet again, bring the feet back together, and lower. Let's try it again. Lift and open and lower. Lift and close and lower. So this entire time, my heels are on the ground, and it's only the front part of the foot that's lifting up. It's the toes, it's the arch. Heels are anchored. Now, if you like, you can tie the breath into this movement. I think it comes very naturally. We inhale, lift up and open. Exhale, lower. Try it again. Inhale, lift up and then close. And exhale. So this is going to slow down the movement a little bit if we tie it to that nice, slow and even breath. We'll do one more round. And then pause. Notice what the sensations in the feet are like now. We'll just pick up one foot, doesn't matter which one. Pick up the knee a little bit and then just point and flex that foot. Even though we're lifting the knee, we're still sitting up tall. The foot has cleared the ground. You can straighten it out if that makes it a little easier, whatever it is, so that we have room to point and flex the foot. And then pause and make some circles with that ankle. We'll go for about 5 circles on one side, in one direction, and then 5 circles in the other direction. These don't have to be fast, and you may notice, like, boy, when I go this way, I hear a lot of cracking and popping in the ankle. And when you finish that out, maybe do a couple more points and flexes. Bend the knee, put the foot back down. Now's a really good time to pause and notice the difference between the feet and the ankles. How does this one feel compared to that one? And then we shift to the other side. Again, finding where it's comfortable for you, whether it's up here or the foot extended. But we just do some pointing and flexing. And you don't have to point real hard or flex real hard. We're just bringing some movement into that ankle. And then we make the circles. So slow circles, maybe 5 in one direction. And then we take it in the other direction. And then we'll point and flex a few more times. And put that foot back down on the earth. Push into both feet, sit up taller. Pause and notice how those ankles feel now. Did we even it out? And for this next sequence, we get to use the tennis ball. I know that's everyone's favorite. Take your tennis ball, place it on the ground. Both feet are on the ground. We're very connected to the earth right now. We're pushing into the feet. We're sitting up taller. And then just take that tennis ball and begin to release any tension on the sole of the foot. So just pick one foot. It doesn't matter which. You know that we'll get both of them. And we're going to spend about a minute doing this. So we have a lot of time to find those little sticking places and to move the ball around. Oh, yes. Make sure you get all over the sole of the foot, whether it's underneath the toes, underneath the heel, the arch. Just finding all of those places where we can release some tension and let the foot experience sensation here. Again, we have more proprioceptors in our feet than we do in our hands. So they're sending us a tremendous amount of information. And if you tend to walk barefoot, you're getting that information. It's coming up to the brain. Most of us, however, tend to put on shoes and socks. And so some of that information perhaps isn't traveling quite the same way. This is a great way to wake up the soles of the feet. Okay, that's a minute on one foot. Let's pause there and notice sensations now. Do you notice tingling? Do you feel a feeling of energy in that foot? Do you feel sensation up into the ankle and the shin? Then we'll switch to the other side. So same thing, just you are controlling this pressure. You push down as hard or as light as you like. Just notice how things feel here. Making sure we get all over the foot, the inner arch, yes, and the outer arch, the heel, the toes. And we've got about another 30 seconds on this foot. So find those places where this feels good. Release tension. And now we're going to finish this foot up. Put your foot back onto the earth. We'll pick up that tennis ball, hold it in our hands, and now notice how things feel. Notice sensation. While I find that my feet feel energized, I think I feel a little bit more relaxed. So the tension in the foot that I've been able to release has really affected the rest of my body as well. Okay, now we're going to make our way to standing. Once we've come to standing, we move the tennis ball, put it someplace safe so that we're not going to trip on it. You know, I'm a nutcase about that. We're going to use our chair quite a bit today, the back of the chair for our fingertip control, so keep that close by. But of course, the very first thing we want to do is find our Tadasana today. Check in. How does this feel to stand tall today? Pushing into the feet, letting the crown of the head reach for the ceiling. Take a little shift forward and back if that feels okay. And again, you can always use your chair to help you here. Shifting front to back. Noticing how the ankles feel when we do this. Ankles are involved. And then maybe a little side to side shift. So my feet are still on the floor. It's just the weight is going from one side to the other. And then come back to center. Can we make some circles? Going in circles around those feet. You can keep the hand, one or both hands. You can have that chair in front of you. Or no hands, however you want to do it. And then pause and take the circle in the other direction. Now, notice what's going on with the toes. Do you feel them gripping at any point? Do you feel them releasing? What's happening? And then pause and just come back to center. We'll turn towards our chair. We're going to keep that folded up beach towel or blanket available, close by and available. And let's come to a Tadasana facing our chair. Now I'm going to turn at an angle just so we can get a better shot with the camera. But you would have your chair right in front of you, fingertip control, fingertips on the chair. As we inhale, let's let that inhale lift us up onto our toes. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the heels, bend the knees, take it to a little chair pose. How's that? Come on back up, inhaling. And exhale, a little tiptoe push-up we can call this. Fingertip control, so we're not pushing down in our hands, but we're really using that chair to help us with balance. Lifting the heels, and then lower heels, bend the knees. Let's do two more, very focused. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, lower, bend the knees. And then come back to standing. Pause. Notice sensation. Now, if that was enough of a challenge for you, that's where you're going to stay. You're going to go there. If you're looking for a little something else, that's when we bring in our beach towel. So I'm going to place this beach towel on the floor just right in front of me, and I'm going to put my toes on it. So heels on the floor, toes on the towel. And when your toes are on the towel, can you spread those toes wide? So rather than all crunched up, let's spread them wide. And I'm going to turn this to at an angle just so my second camera can pick this up a little bit better. I hope that you can see. So spread wide toes. We're going to do the same thing. My heels are on the ground. I'm going to let my inhale lift up my heels. And as I exhale, I'm going to lower the heels, bend the knees, take it to a chair pose. Now, we can use arms if we like, or once again, we take it to that fingertip control. And I would recommend figuring out fingertip control before we do anything else, right? We want to make sure we have this balance. We're building strength in the core, in the ankles, in the soles of the feet, those arches of the feet. Let's do two more, moving slowly. And then make your way to standing. Pause and notice how things feel. Okay, this next round, again, only if you want something else. Again, I'm just trying to get a good angle here on my camera. Same thing with the foot on the blanket, toes spread wide. We're just going to put one foot on the blanket. The other one we're going to wrap my ankle around, wrap the foot around the ankle. So adding all the weight into one foot. Now, this would be one where you definitely want to start with fingertip control until you can figure out how it's going. Lifting up. It's a lot more weight, a lot more work and effort for that one foot. And then sit into that little chair pose. I'm not going very deep, but I'm taking my time to find the lift And then lower the heel, sit back. And for me, because I'm only using one hand on the chair, this other hand is a really nice counterbalance. And then pause, step off the blanket. Notice how that all feels. And we'll go to the other side. Again, I'm just working so that maybe you can see this a little better on your screen. The toe is on the blanket or towel. My toes are spread wide. My other foot is wrapped around the ankle. The inhale lifts the heel, and as I exhale, I lower and bend the knee. So the part of the effort is slowing it down and really noticing the shift between the up and the down, right? It's not just get all the way up, get all the way down, but it's traveling there. I think we might have one more left. Pause and step off the towel or blanket. Notice sensations in the feet, the ankles, the shin, the leg. Everything's been working. Okay, we will clean this space up. I'm going to put my towel on the seat of my chair, and we're going to move to one balance pose. And I'd like you to just play with this, have some fun with it. We're going to take our feet a little wider than our hips, toes out, knees out. You can keep that chair right in front of you. We're going to bend the knees and toes tracking in the same direction. So if I had this chair in front of me, my fingers would be on it. We're just going to lift one heel and lower, and then the other heel. So hands would be on the chair, just trying this out, see what it feels like. I'm going to put my hand on this chair over here so that I can balance as well. Do one more on each side, noticing how this feels. We're standing tall, crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. And then pause. Stop here. Both feet on the ground, knees are bent. My knees are tracking over toes 2 and 3. And now we're going to do what I like to call sumo wrestler. So think about how those sumo wrestlers enter their ring. All of the weight shifts into one foot and they pick up the other leg. And then they put it down. And then they go in the other direction and put it down. So we need to work on balancing no matter what position we're in, right? Because if we're going to slip on something, we're not going to be standing up tall. Imagine, this is the perfect one. Just use that chair. Lift one leg. My knee is bent. I lower carefully. Lift the other. Maybe do a lift and hold. What happens then? Use your chair. Put it down. Other side. Lift and hold. Look, I've got the wall too. Put it down. Straighten up both legs. Turn the toes straight ahead. Bring your feet together. Thank your body for doing such wonderful work. And now we're going to make our way back to our chair. When we get back to our chair, we're going to slide back to the back. We're going to use that prop to connect to the earth again. Just notice as you sit back and connect what's going on with the feet, with the soles of the feet specifically, those arches and the soles of the feet and the ankles. Soften or close your eyes, turn your palms up in your lap, and come back to that slow and even breath. Gently turn your head to the right and the left, slow movements. And then return to center. Wiggle your fingers, turn the hands at the wrists. Wiggle your toes, yes. Blink open your eyes if they're closed. Circle the shoulders. And we're gonna slide to the edge of our chair again, bringing our feet to the floor one last time. Let's bring the palms together in front of heart center, uniting left and right halves of the body. Tuck your chin and thank yourself for taking time to practice chair yoga today. Thank you also for allowing me to guide you. It's an honor to be with you. It is great to see you again. Those of you that joined me at the Survivorship Center, we're back live now. Yay. Keep practicing yoga, and I hope to see you all again soon.